The Charles P. And last I left off, I finished putting all the kit parts that are on the ship, and that would be like the little life rafts with the rest of the kit etch, the brackets that hold on each side, and the other side's pretty much mirrored. And other little parts are, and I don't like to bore everyone, but the little, pardon my naval term here, little tie down things that go all the way around the ship. I got all of them on, so we are good to go on that. So now I am down to the gold metal photo etch. So some of this I won't be using because I already used it on the kit photo etch, which is basically the same thing. I didn't see hardly any difference. But anyway, so now I'm going to do the some of the railing first, and that's pretty much the ones on the top here. And then I'll do I'm going to do the side railing last. And what I do for railing, sometimes you can pre-bend it, and when they tell you where to bend it and everything. I don't necessarily like that idea. I prefer to actually glue a section on. Once that when it cures, I can bend it, do another section, get it glued down, cured, bend, and it's just a little more. It's a little time consuming, but you do get it around. And if it is bent or anything, you can straighten it back up. To me, that's just easier. It is for me, but anyway, I don't like to pre-bend everything, especially on railing, because sometimes it just never works out the way it is. But anyway, there is that. So we're just going to start adding the gold metal etch this week. One thing, I said this would take about a month, and I was correct. I didn't know that we was doing the gold metal, or I didn't read it right, and I figured it would be about a month, so it might be a couple weeks over just adding the etch, because I have learned many years ago, when you do photo etch and decals, do a little bit each day, and it ain't a killer, and you don't you won't get burnt out on the etch. But anyway, we are getting it together. My little cheap blue tape just ain't sticking. What I get for buying the cheap 2-pack. But anyway, Charles P. is taking shape. Little boring stage here on the airliners. I did get future painted on both of them. They are shiny. They are ready to go for decals, but I had to stop because I forgot these are printed on decal paper, ones where you have to cut all the way to the edge and everything. And I don't know about the blue. I'm going to say it is, but anyway, the Metro decals and the American Eagle decals, I had to go in and I had to go spray with Mr. Decal Bonder, and I had to spray a couple coats on that because I have learned my lesson. When I get aftermarket decals, I spray it first before I even touch it. I have been through, actually it was been a long time. Don't want to put anyone on the spot. Where is Accreation? I think Accreation did it. But anyway, there was a decal sheet, and I guess he it sprayed it to a point, and half of it wiped off, and I said I'd never do that again, and I haven't. So a little on the boring side. So we had to do some decal bonder on the decals. So I'm going to try to start that this week. Get them. Start getting them applied. That is the game plan on that, and I need to clean off the workbench just a little bit, which we'll talk about the little rocket mouse in just a moment. The Trans Am, I got most of it painted. I got to go one more coat on it. I think I am good to go. I think it got everywhere. Had to go in, retape wheels, and hopefully I didn't get any paint on those. I may have to take some lacquer thinner and wipe them off. But anyway, it's real close to the Spectre Red, I think that's what they call it. But it may look bright and shiny red here because I got Mr. Light shining on it. But anyway, it's going to have to sit for a couple days. So if you don't see me working on it on social media or anything, that's the reason, because it is enamel and it is a little tacky, and I'm just going to let it sit and let it cure, and it should look great once the tape's removed, and should look good on film once it gets filmed on video. But anyway, more on that and a little bit later. The little rocket mouse. Someone asked. I had to put this up just for about a week. I got to finish painting, and I needed the space to get that. I always remember paying customers come first before the fun personal stuff. So anyway, we haven't forgot it. It's just there for you know, just to rest for a little bit so we can get the other stuff out of the way. But anyway, that's what I have got going on today. We will continue on with the little rocket mouse. We are slapping some paint on the RC Trans Am. Decal's getting a extra 11 of decal bonder, and we keep continuing adding more photo etch to the Charles P. So that's what I've got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.